Welcome to the weather briefing by the National Weather Service on June 21st, 2020. Here's a look at our week at a glance, discussing potential impacts across northern and central New Mexico for the upcoming week. On Monday, we're expecting a chance for strong to severe storms over portions of eastern New Mexico, mainly in the late afternoon to evening hours. Scattered and numerous storms are expected over most of eastern New Mexico, reaching into the Rio Grande Valley on Tuesday. Some of these storms on Tuesday could become severe, mainly over northeastern plains. On Monday, there is a heat risk mainly over southeastern New Mexico, also stretching up into the lower Rio Grande Valley in the Socorro area. By Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, we'll see storm chances trend down, with only isolated scattered storms mainly across the eastern plains, with hot and dry conditions favored for next weekend. Here's a look at the New Mexico weather map. You can see not much is going on over the forecast area today, Sunday afternoon. There are a few storms trying to develop over the northern mountains, but right now we're only expecting isolated storms for the rest of today. Here's a look at the GOES 16 geocolor satellite imagery. You can see those storms trying to form over the New Mexico San Juans and Sangre de Cristo Mountains, but again, only isolated activity is expected. Over Arizona, you can see smoke from wildfires still hovering around in the area, mainly over the Gila and into west central and southwestern New Mexico. This will raise some smoke concerns again tonight heading into Monday morning. If we switch to water vapor, you can see stronger northwest flow coming in over the Great Basin, which will reach northern and northeastern New Mexico Monday and Tuesday. This will help create some of those, raise the risk for isolated strong to severe storms over northeastern New Mexico on Monday and Tuesday. Here's a look on the day-by-day forecast. Starting on Monday, we'll see our main focus lie in high temperatures through the lower Rio Grande Valley and lower Pecos River valleys at Socorro and Roswell, where high temperatures will be in the low to mid 100s. Cooler temperatures will be hung up over in the northeastern plains behind a backdoor cold front that will provide extra moisture for storms to develop over eastern New Mexico on Monday. On Tuesday, we'll see storm chances sharply increase mainly along and east of the central mountain chain. There could also be some isolated and scattered storms reaching the Rio Grande Valley, first forming over the Continental Divide and Jemez, drifting eastward towards Albuquerque and Santa Fe late in the day. However, the main focus will be over the eastern plains, where scattered to numerous storms are expected along the Sangre de Cristo Mountains. These storms are expected to move east to east-southeast towards the Texas border late in the day into the evening hours. On Wednesday, we'll see storm coverage decrease to isolated scattered over eastern New Mexico. And on Thursday, we'll continue to see that drying trend as storms become more isolated in nature across eastern New Mexico. This trend continues Friday, with best chances remaining over the Sangre de Cristo Mountains eastward over northeastern New Mexico. By next weekend, our focus switches back to the high temperatures as they start to warm up back towards that 100-degree mark, mainly over southeastern plains at Roswell, and in Socorro we could even see high temperatures get up into the upper 90s here in Albuquerque. On Sunday, the heat continues to build, with temperatures climbing at or above 100 degrees over more areas of eastern plains. Let's focus our attention to the severe weather risk on Monday. SPC's marginal risk does lie over most of the eastern plains for Monday. However, most of these storms are expected to first develop over the Sangre de Cristo Mountains before moving to a more unstable atmosphere over the eastern plains towards the Texas border for the mid to late afternoon and evening hours on Monday. On Tuesday, our severe weather outlook shifts focus more towards northeastern New Mexico, where better shear will exist to allow for strong to severe storms during the afternoon hours. Come Wednesday, we are expecting a downward trend in thunderstorm activity over eastern New Mexico. However, these storms are expected to be more general to garden variety. We can't entirely rule out an isolated severe storm Wednesday or Thursday afternoon, but for the most part, these storms will have your general risk. Storm coverage overall trends pretty low by the weekend, with drier and warmer conditions expected. Concerning fire weather across the state, we do have an elevated risk of critical fire weather conditions over northwestern New Mexico on Monday. with the potential for an isolated dry thunderstorm first developing over the Colorado San Juans, moving into the upper Rio Grande Valley and over the Tusa's and Jemez Mountains. Storms along and east of the San Francisco Mountains will be wetter in nature. Elevated conditions will remain over much of western New Mexico Tuesday through Friday, where hot, dry, and unstable conditions will remain. Eastern New Mexico, of course, will see the main story being with weather thunderstorms each afternoon. By the weekend, high uncertainty remains with the forecast. However, a drier and warmer weather pattern is favored over the entire state. To recap this week, severe thunderstorms are expected over a good portion of the eastern plains come Monday and over northeastern New Mexico here in yellow on Tuesday. Fire weather conditions will be elevated throughout the week, with wind being the limiting factor and mostly focused over western New Mexico each day. Here's a look at our drought conditions. D3 drought remains over much of northern New Mexico, hugging the Colorado border, while D2 drought conditions have spread over much of the eastern plains. Hopefully, the storms we're expecting Tuesday will abate some of these conditions. However, looking on towards the 8 to 14 day time frame, warmer than normal and drier than normal conditions are favored across New Mexico. Here's a recap of our daytime highs and precipitation chances expected this week. Our warmest temperatures could very well be at Roswell and Socorro Monday afternoon. However, much cooler conditions arrive Tuesday to be coupled with a sharp uptick in precipitations along and east of the Central Mountain chain on Tuesday. Temperatures trend warmer Wednesday towards the weekend, while precipitation chances trend drier. And here's a final look at our severe thunderstorm risk on Monday, with lightning, large hail, and damaging winds being the main risk during the mid to late afternoon hours into the evening, mainly towards the Texas border. With that, thank you for joining us today, and if you have any questions, feel free to contact or email the National Weather Service in Albuquerque.